Welcome to the Business Mechanic Show. This is your host, Vaughn Sigmund, co-founder of Results-Driven Leadership, where we provide the knowledge, skills, and tools to develop managers into highly effective leaders. During this podcast, I want to share with you an important truth about leadership. And as I was thinking about the topic for today, I reminisced back to all the great managers who were really impactful leaders, the ones I knew and worked with or worked for. And I started thinking about a few things they all had in common and came up with some strong commonalities. And I want to share those with you today. It came down to what their approach and attitude was as bosses and how they truly valued their employees. Wow, that sounds pretty simple. But in today's world, as I'm going to share some more details on, has been very difficult to come by. See, all these managers, these great leaders that got stuff done easier and better, consistently, sustainably, year in, year out, grew in their careers. All of those managers were top performers year after year after year. They all worked less and they accomplished more. And what manager, what boss doesn't want to have a little of that in their life? These people all had highly successful careers. They got promoted, they got ahead, or they got recruited to other companies and paid more money. But most importantly, and the most satisfying part, and what derived from all this, is their employees respected the hell out of them. All these leaders truly made huge contributions to their companies and are probably still remembered long past they left. And even in bad times, they stood out as being far less impacted in down economies and even in recessions. They were all able to consistently achieve superior results compared to their peers. So what was it? What was that one thing that they all had in common? Well, it's pretty darn simple. It was how they valued employees as human beings. And as I thought more, I captured what I believe are three habits all of these exceptional leaders had in common. So let's get into it. And as soon as I say let's get into it, something just popped in my head. Let's do this first. Let's be clear on the difference between leading and managing. I don't talk about that often enough. Here's the definition right out of the dictionary. Management consists of controlling a group or a set of entities to accomplish a goal. Controlling a group of employees or a group of entities to accomplish a goal. And leadership refers to an individual's ability to influence, motivate, and enable others to contribute toward organizational success. Influence and inspiration, that's what separates leaders. That's what separates leaders from most managers. It's not their ability to power and control. It's their influence and inspiration. And like I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, nowadays, survey after survey demonstrates a shift towards managers being more focused on command and control. They're more focused on the management side of their job. And by doing this, frankly, they may be losing their team members' respect. Yeah, they get things done, but with a more difficult burden. I see this, I observe this. They get things done, yes, but they have to work harder to get it done. These managers have more stress, more frustration, have to work longer hours. And also, there's a perceptual confusion that treats both management and leadership as the same, which is not reality. So let's separate the two and not be confused by that. So in this leadership podcast, we're going to dig into the 3 habits of exceptional leaders. As I went through and did an inventory, I pulled these 3 habits out as critical. And it's going to require for some of you, if not most of you, a shift in mindset, how you think about things, how you approach your day, that will allow you to move from a management-heavy style to a more effective leadership style. And what is so critical to these 3 tips is they're so simple, but they're still missing. And it's valuing people. How do you value people? Showing how much you value your team members is a necessary and essential soft skill, which is sadly missing from the toolbox of many, if not most, managers today. And to change, it takes both a mind and heart change to do it effectively. You got to think about it differently. You have to shift your mindset, and you have to create some empathy and realization and respect for your employees. Respect begets respect. And doing it well, doing this well, just how you value, how you demonstrate your value, how you view the value of your team members will seamlessly drive your employee success and commitment down to a path of higher productivity, better service, and for your company, more profit. Been proven time after time after time. And if you're a manager, especially a newer manager, you need to pay attention to these 3 key habits. It's most likely no one will ever tell you these simple soft skills on how to motivate and inspire your team to respect you and to get them to perform, to lead them to perform at extraordinary levels. Anybody can do this if they get their mind right. And today I'm going to supply you with some ammo. And let me not miss this. If you're a seasoned manager who's looking for that next gear for driving success, and you are because you're listening to this show, you're looking to get better, man, I respect the hell out of you for doing that. You're trying to better yourself by listening to the Business Mechanic Show. And if you're looking for that next gear, that next level of success, and ways to make your job easier and more effective, these 3 leadership tips will go a long way to you achieving that goal. And I'm going to share this real quick before we get into these 3 tips. It's a plug, but I'm pretty excited about this, and I want you to get excited about it too. And we've got lots of fans out there for the Business Mechanic Show. And for you, I have a special offer. I have a new subscription offer, and I want you all to take advantage of it. And if you've not heard and if you've not had formal management training, you need to take advantage of this because it is a limited offer. This will not last long. For the first 50 managers who sign up for my full results-driven online training program, which is self-driven, self-paced, you'll invest only $47 per month for the entire 14-module executive-led program. And that's for as long as you want it. No contract, no restrictions. It's all yours, first 50 managers. And for you companies, you bosses out there that are looking for a cost-effective solution, You can get the full 14 module course for your entire team, which includes a DISC assessment with unlimited users for as long as you want. I'm offering for the first 25 companies to invest only $347 per month. No contracts and unlimited users. Pretty sweet deal. And I put a link in the show notes to check out the details. Sign up. Let's go do it. Out of the plug and back to the show. Here are the 3 habits of exceptional leaders. First habit, they promote and leverage trust. Think about that. Trust in every relationship is the glue. It's the glue for personal relationships, friendships, marriages, and especially the relationship we have with our team members. And those leaders who truly value people as their number one most valuable resource, well, they work hard to promote trust. And that means that they create an environment where employees feel safe and motivated to exercise their creativity. They are able to communicate their ideas openly and to provide input into decisions without the fear of reprimand, because there's trust there. You display that trust. And by you providing them trust, being willing to accept their ideas, bring them in as part of your solution every day to achieve your goals. That's where the trust comes from. Trust, however, in corporate circles remains a baffling stigma. In way too many workplace surveys I've poured over, nearly half, sometimes more, depending on the survey. Some are as high as 70%, most are around 60%. So way more than half say they don't trust their manager. They don't trust their manager. So if you're a manager that is having a difficult time getting stuff done and making that move from manager to leader, listen up to this. Think about that. Every company has this issue to some degree. What is it that they primarily think is being held back? Well, it all comes down to how well or not the employees feel like they're performing in the eyes of the manager. This is a case where no news is bad news. They are begging, they need it, they desire it, they want feedback, even if it's developmental, even if it's slightly negative, even if you fear confrontation. They want to hear about how they can get better. They all want to get educated and get better at their jobs. And how do you do this? Well, it's in the results-driven manager training program under the course Performance Management That Works. I'm telling you, it walks you through the entire process, the blueprint of this. It gives you all the tools, the materials, the forms, the mindset, everything you need. And it's simple as all get out. You just have to go learn it and practice it. And you'll be astounded how your game changes, how well your employees will respond to regular feedback, both positive and negative. And we're going to get into the positive side, but they do need regular developmental feedback. And if that's missing, they don't trust you because they don't know what's on your mind. They don't know how you're judging them. You don't want that. It's so easy, but it's happening. If you don't think it is, you're likely wrong. You're likely wrong because of what the surveys are saying. It's just that simple. Facts is facts. Next thing, the next habit, they recognize their people. Now, this takes on a lot of forms in a lot of people's minds. And, while fancy perks and unique benefits, they, they had their day. They may have swayed employees to stay on the payroll at one point in time. It just isn't enough anymore. It just isn't. We've got new generations of employees that are eager to contribute. But we have lots of managers that don't know how to get that out of them. And in the Achievers Workforce Institute that surveyed more than 4,200 employees and 1,600 HR leaders earlier this year, the key to engagement out of all these people, key to engagement and retention and productivity came down to employee recognition. 48% of employees say culture has deteriorated during the pandemic. And where do they place the blame? They place the blame on the lack of communication with their managers. That there is not as high a level of allowance of employee input, and that their manager has lost or has never created. So they've never created or maintained a meaningful connection with their team members. Read into this: hybrid or remote offices have thrown a wrench into many managers' ability to lead. And, no offense to you, not your fault. Most managers, frankly, have not been trained. They've not been prepared to thrive in a new office model, a new work model. But forget about whether it's hybrid, traditional, remote, regardless of the work environment. Managers should spend time and resources building a recognition program. And they should learn how and why to properly send a meaningful recognition message to their team members. And I ask you, how do you show gratitude for your employees busting their butts for you daily? Do you have an attitude of gratitude? More importantly, even if you do, how often are you showing it? How often are you sharing it? Because doing so will ignite a positive, productive, retention-worthy culture and create a company and team that is highly attractive to new talent. And if you're not providing some sort of recognition for hard work, at least once a week to every employee, that's kind of the minimum for playing the game. That's the minimum you can put in to be successful at this, is at least once a week, every week, to every employee on your team. If you're not doing that, you're coming up short. Every employee, every week. They're all busting their butt. They're all doing something to achieve. So think about it. Go out there and show some recognition. And it can come down to just simple things like, I'm so glad you're on my team. I'm really impressed by how hard you've been working for me. I'm really impressed at how far you've come, how much you've learned, how much you're helping other people on the team. Thank you so much. Be positive and recognize their efforts. And the third habit, they place their employees ahead of their customers. What? I said that right. They place their employees ahead of their customers. This is vital. And I've worked in this environment for years and know how effective it is for superior outcomes, superior engagement, superior retention, superior respect. Every leader's role should be about serving employees first, especially those closest to the customer experience. You're hearing this, sales managers, customer service managers. Are you there? Are you listening? Take care of your employees, and they're going to take care of your customers. And this, of course, applies across the board because every employee has some impact on the customer experience. People in shipping have it, the people in accounting have it. Everybody has some impact on the customer's experience. So, do you want them all performing at peak levels? Well, great leaders realize that their number one customer is their employees. And if they take care of their people, train them, empower them, their people will become fully engaged in what they're doing, their daily work. And in turn, they will reach out and perform at a level that is really taking care of their second most important customer, the people who buy their products or services from you. That's valuing your people. So to conclude, let's go through a quick exercise. Think about these and answer these questions. As you've listened to this podcast today, which leadership habits shared today are the most surprising to you? Why? Why were they surprising to you? And why do you think many leaders lack using these tips that I've shared with you today? Also think about, to what degree do you think you're playing the results-driven leadership role that includes using one or all of these habits? And the big one, and probably why you're listening to this show, to what degree do you think there are some opportunities for you to take advantage of that you haven't already? What of these three habits, which of these three habits are you willing to adopt, work on, improve on, to start moving your career, your ability, your approach away from management to leadership, and making your life better and making your employees, your direct reports' lives better? The outcomes are superior when you're displaying this, guaranteed. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Please visit our website to check out our affordable solution to becoming a highly results-driven leader. Go to rdltraining.com and check out all of our training and coaching services. That's Romeo Delta Lima training.com. And I'll talk to you all again real soon.